Too great. In the last era, it's gonna be big.
What does it do to your two legacies?
Sometimes people talk shit a lot, and when they stay in the ring, they do nothing.
You know, a win against Canelo Alvarez put me, on Mount Rushmore.
Tension hit a boiling point when Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford came face to face in a fiery moment during their interview with Piers Morgan. Even though the full episode hasn't aired yet, the trailer alone has already gone viral. Both fighters exchanged sharp words, and Piers added fuel to the fire, setting the stage for a blockbuster showdown.
Too great. In the last era, it's gonna be big.
What does it do to your two legacies?
Sometimes people talk shit a lot, and when they stay in the ring, they do nothing.
You know, a win against Canelo Alvarez put me, on Mount Rushmore.
He's significantly bigger than anyone you fought before, and he's one of the all-time greats. You're not going to feel apprehensive when you get in that ring against him?
Fear? No.
I will for you, and I'm not even you.
That's cool.
But can you accept he's better than you at anything or not?
No, because he ain't proven it yet.
We want to find out September 13th. That's why we are.
Adding to the buzz, Joe Rogan shared his thoughts on the possible clash. With Saudi Arabia backing the event, Rogan believes this fight will turn into a grand spectacle thanks to the massive money involved. When it came to picking sides, Rogan didn't hesitate. He's backing Crawford all the way.
You look at the elite of the elite boxers, to a man, to every one of them, they're disciplined. Yeah. And they stay focused. I'm so excited to see this fight with Canelo Alvarez because I think the Saudi Arabians have so much money. They're throwing so much money at boxing. And the guy who's the head of boxing over there wants to make that fight happen. I think Terence Crawford, forget about the 3-weight classes. I think he could beat Canelo.
I think he can too.
I hope he's big enough to keep that dude off him because Canelo hits so hard, man.
That's one dude that, I believe all the shit he be talking.
Crawford? Yeah. Oh, he's good.
He don't just be saying shit.
They tried to say that Errol Spence was damaged because of what Crawford did to him because he was damaged from the car accident. I'm like, maybe. Or maybe Crawford would have done that 3 years ago. I think he's that good. He's just so skillful. He's so slick. And when he gets, and he's also the best guy in the sport at switch hitting. He'll go from southpaw to orthodox and be just as good and trip you up.
Rogan went deeper, imagining the kind of damage this fight could deliver. He described how devastating Canelo's punches are, especially to the liver, saying if Canelo lands clean, it's game over. That kind of power is no joke.
Canelo Alvarez body shots. Maybe there's a video we could look. He's got a beautiful one where he steps in and just rips that left to the liver, and your body just goes deep. It just shuts down. It's the weirdest feeling, man. It's like your legs stop working, everything stops working. Your whole body just seizes up.
It looks. At the same time, Rogan showed huge respect for Crawford's skills. He praised Bud's ring IQ, footwork, and timing, calling him a true master of the craft. In Rogan's view, Crawford isn't just a boxer, he's an artist in the ring.
I think he's going to start southpaw, he starts orthodox. You prepare for orthodox, he's fighting southpaw. He feels like he's got you timed better orthodox, he'll switch it up.
Super accurate.
Oh, just knows so much about boxing, about where to be and what's coming, and
he's a strategist that's also entertaining.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's an artist.
Remember a young B-Hop?
Yeah.
It was just so sharp and made it look almost entertaining. You know what I mean?
Roy Jones in his prime. It was art. You were watching art. He's piecing up people.
Meanwhile, Canelo went viral in a different way, pulling off wheelies on a bike while rocking a bold shirt that read "Easy Money Baby." Fans quickly picked up on the message, interpreting it as a jab at Crawford. It felt like Canelo was saying the fight would be a walk in the park.
See? Yeah. Huh?
YouTuber Showbiz gave his take on the viral clip, saying Canelo's relaxed vibe and subtle taunts show that he's mentally locked in. From riding bikes to wearing that shirt, Canelo looks like a man who knows the fight is happening and is already embracing it.
So Canelo Alvarez, that brother out here
with a shirt on saying, easy money, bruh. Easy money. And you see him on a motorcycle and everything, having a good time. It seems as though he's settled in the confidence that this fight is going to happen. You saw that he already has the interview with Morgan, and we heard easy money before. He's wearing the t-shirt, but first time we heard him say that in reference to Terence Bud.
Despite Canelo's confidence, Shope has made one thing clear: this won't be an easy fight. He believes Canelo will eventually stop Crawford, but only after a war. While he respects Crawford's skills, Shope sees Canelo's strength and size as key to a late stoppage.
I have Canelo Alvarez winning. I don't think it's going to be an easy fight. I think it's going to be a good fight as long as it lasts, but I think it's going to be a TKO knockout. I think he's going to stop Terence Bud Crawford. And the thing is, and I know people hate when I say that, but I have to go with the practicality of this. On this one, I have to go with the practicality. Now, if, like I said, Bud Crawford pulls this off, you got to understand how difficult it is for Bud Crawford to beat Saul Canelo Alvarez. How low of a probability that really is in real life. If he beats him, that means he's better than Canelo at 168. I have to go with the practicality of this. I'm going to put all my chips on Canelo Alvarez beating Bud Crawford. I probably won't put money on it. I may put money on knockout. I may put some money on the knockout. I got Canelo Alvarez.
On the flip side, Wade Clemens disagreed with the idea that size will decide the outcome. He believes Crawford is building his body the right way and won't be overwhelmed. For Wade, this isn't about weight, it's about skills and execution.
Yeah, if they hit 30 million to 60 million people watching this, that would be a massive number. Alvarez is boxing's top star. He will defend his 168-pound crown against Crawford, a fellow future Hall of Famer. Will climb 2 weight classes for the biggest challenge of his career. Again, I've talked about this. I don't think that the weight is going to be that big a difference. Maybe Terence fighting at that weight will make a difference to him personally, right? Like, it's just not going to feel the same, or it's going to be a little bit to maneuver. But Canelo is not, like, Canelo's size does not scare me if I'm a Terence Crawford fan, because I've seen both of them during fight weeks and out of fight weeks, and there isn't much of a size difference.
On the flip side, Wade Clemens disagreed with the idea that size will decide the outcome. He believes Crawford is building his body the right way and won't be overwhelmed. For Wade, this isn't about weight, it's about skills and execution.
When he's 4 years Canelo Alvarez, a senior, that is so, I'm just talking about the practicality of this. He has never campaigned at 160. He's never campaigned at 160. And when he did campaign north of 147, it was the first time he's gone the distance in like 10, 11 fights when he fought Madrimov. And it was a very close fight. He won 115, 130. A lot of people think Madrimov won the fight. He really struggled pushing Madrimov back, using his strength and all the things that make him Terence Bud Crawford. You may say it's the weight, you may say it's the age. I think it's a combination of both, and he's only going to get heavier, and he's only getting older to fight Canelo Alvarez, one of the greatest fighters of all time. It's not like he's just...
Echoing the concerns, Oscar De La Hoya also chimed in. He mocked the media's claim that this could be the fight of the decade, saying the size difference alone makes the fight unrealistic. He also mentioned Crawford's struggle against Madrimov as further proof.
I didn't realize you guys could be bought that easily. Now, what the media is reporting, and it's circulating, is that Canelo Crawford is the biggest fight of the decade. I mean, to a purist and a fighter, it's laughable. Because you have Crawford jumping up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo, who's a natural light heavyweight. Crawford, who couldn't push back Madrimov. Life and death with Madrimov. What do you think Canelo's going to do to him? Run him out of the ring.
De La Hoya didn't stop there. He threw shade at Dana White, who's reportedly promoting the fight, saying White has no real experience in boxing and shouldn't be involved in organizing such a major event.
Laughable also, Dana White being named the promoter of this fight, considering he's never been in the boxing space, has no stable of boxers. He didn't negotiate shit, and is being handed this fight on a silver platter and called promoter. He's the trust fund baby of boxing. That's it. The trust fund baby of boxing. And get this, The fight will take place during the day on September 13th in Las Vegas.
He also criticized the decision to make the fight happen during the day, just so it wouldn't clash with UFC's primetime schedule. According to De La Hoya, it's all business and no concern for fans or boxing tradition.
During the day. So Canelo will fight during the day on Netflix just to accommodate UFC Noche later that evening on a different network. So does that mean this fight isn't important? Do they not give a fuck about the fans or viewership? Why is it that Canelo has to fight during the day on Mexican Independence Weekend? And UFC with a roster of names I've never heard of is going on prime time. Cinco de Mayo. He's fighting in Riyadh, and now he's fighting during the day on the biggest weekend in boxing.
In his harshest take, De La Hoya claimed Canelo doesn't care about the fans or Mexican fight traditions. He said Canelo only cares about getting paid and would fight anywhere, anytime, as long as the money's right. He also slammed Dana White for turning his back on UFC.
Yeah, Canelo will fight anywhere, anytime he's told, because he doesn't give a fuck. All he cares is about the money. Doesn't give a fuck about the fans, about tradition, the Mexican weekend tradition. Oh, and Dana, what, now you're turning your back
on? On a more balanced note, Nico Ali Walsh, grandson of Muhammad, always shared his opinion after watching Canelo's recent fight with William Skoll. He feels public opinion is now split 50-50 as he believes the matchup has become even more exciting.
Not seeing so far is a venue, right? We know the date, we know the city, but we don't have the venue yet. And I think, speculating, because I don't have the answer, guess we'll find out, but I think it's because they're trying to negotiate or trying to find a way to get Allegiant Stadium. I have to think that. Although I don't know if anything's going on in T-Mobile Arena on that day. If they try to get the Sphere, I mean, sure, that too. Part of me though wants to have it in a traditional box.
Walsh called Crawford one of the greatest fighters in history. Even though Canelo is one of his personal favorites, Walsh said he's rooting for Team Bud. He believes in Crawford's skill, work ethic, and mindset to achieve greatness.
Before Canelo's last fight, but then after Canelo's last fight, it seems like it's more 50-50 now. So everything is just the build up for that fight is just going to be absolutely magnetizing. Like that fight, it's garnered so much more buzz after Canelo's last fight, and Bud is.
Promoter Bob Arum also didn't hold back. He criticized Canelo's recent performances, saying the Mexican star now seems more interested in making money than putting on exciting fights. Still, Arum added that if Canelo actually shows up to fight, and Crawford always does, this could be something.
In boxing history, he is one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. So it's going to be a fight. It's going to be awesome to watch.
Have you sparred any of them?
I haven't sparred Bud yet. I haven't been in Canelo's camp. I've met Canelo a few times. I love Canelo's team. Canelo's one of my favorite fighters. He's been my favorite fighter for the longest time. But you know, I have to be Team Bud because me and Bud are cool, and I have so much belief in Bud, and I know who he is as a fighter. He is one of the greats. So he could do anything, he wants. For Bud in particular, he's calm in everything he does, and that kind of calm is scary to watch because it shows experience. You can see that he's been doing this for decades. You can see it with his shadow boxing. You can see it. So that's what makes him great. And then I talked to Bud about stuff outside of the gym. You know, he's not a partier. He doesn't, drink. He doesn't smoke. He doesn't do any of that stuff. So I always am drawn to people like that because I respect that. In today's world, it's hard to stay away from.
Former champion Anthony Durrell sees the fight as a good test. He admitted that Crawford has trained with bigger guys, but fighting without headgear under the spotlight is another level. That said, if Crawford truly believes he can win, Durrell thinks he'll pull it off, and he's putting his money on Bud.
Canelo has shown in his last few fights that he's just a businessman. He's not in there to entertain the public. He just takes the big check. But again, if Canelo really fights, because I think safe to say Terence always always fights. He doesn't know anything else. So then it could be a very good, interesting fight. Who is Canelo? What Canelo is going to show up? The Canelo who's looking to cash a big check, or the Canelo that really wants to fight like a fighter? Now, the Canelo we've seen the last 2 years is not only boring, but doesn't really have an incentive to mix it up.
Edwards made his stance clear. He's backed Crawford since day one. No matter who the opponent is, Edwards always picks Bud. In his opinion, Crawford has what it takes to be too much for Canelo.
Do you think, how do you think his fight with Crawford goes, Canelo?
I think it'd be a good fight. I think Crawford is coming up in weight. Everybody want to know how he's going to handle Canelo's power. I think Crawford has sparred bigger people, but not fought big people without a headgear. It's totally different sparring and fighting, because you're going to feel that punch in fighting for sure. So we got to see how he handles it, but I think he'll handle it, or he wouldn't be going up. I mean, it's Terence Crawford. If he know he can do it, he can do it. 100%.
If you had to put money on it, would you?
Yeah.
Who would you put money on?
Terence Crawford. 100%. Yeah.
I always like Crawford. I always like Crawford in the fight. I think Crawford's gonna win.
He's gonna pull it off.
Yep.
You think it's gonna be like just, well, what's gonna be?
I just think he's just gonna be too much.
A lot of people are changing their opinion.
I always said it. I always said I like Crawford from the very beginning of the fight.
You think you can hurt him?
Yep. Anybody could be hurt in the fight. Canelo got a great chin though, but anybody could be hurt on any given night. Don't ever think a guy can't be hurt, man. Ever think some of the best chins I've ever seen have been clipped. Holyfield, Duran, anybody can be clipped, man. Anybody could get hurt. Anybody could go down. It can happen to anybody. Don't ever believe that.
As hype continues to build, one thing's for sure, this potential fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford has everyone talking. Whether it's the Saudi money, the clash of styles, or the superstar names, the boxing world is watching closely. If this showdown becomes a reality, it might just be the fight of the year or even the decade.